Hello friends, today I am going to show you one more HackerRank challenges and its solution. The name of the solution is called picking numbers. So what it says that given an array of integers, find the longest subarray for the absolute difference between any two elements is less than or equal to 1. Either it should be less than 1 or it should be equal to 0. So this is what the problem. Now this is an example of an input array whose elements are like this: a equals 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Now we need to find out an subarray whose maximum length between having such elements whose the difference is either 1 or less than 1. Okay, now based on this input array, first thing we can do is we have divided this into two subarray. One is 1, 1, 2, 2 and the other one is 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Okay, now if you apply the rule, the difference between 1 and 1 0, so this is passed. Then the difference between 1 and 2, this is 2. I mean the difference here is absolute difference, which is 1, which is passed. Then the difference between 2 and 2 equal to 0, this is passed. So now this first subarray has got 4 such elements. Now we will take a look at it. The second subarray, the difference between 4 and 4 equal to 0, 5 and 4, 1, 5 and 5, 1, 5 and 5, 1. So this subarray has also got such elements whose rule has also passed, because the difference between any two elements is 1. But in this array has got more elements than the first subarray. So this is the array we are going to consider as the solution for this problem: 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, which is having 5 such elements. Now we are going to find out solution for this problem. So it says that input is the length of the longest subarray, that is the input. Sorry, the returns is the length of the longest subarray that meets the criteria. Then the input format is the first line contain a single integer, the size of the array. The second line, this line, second line is contains n space separated integers, which is each and every individual element of the array. Okay, now we will find out the solution. I am going to do it in Java, so we will use Java. Now so this is the method we are going to code here: public static int picking numbers. So just copy this method and come to paste this in Notepad+. I am using Notepad+ for this. Now the first thing we have to do is we have to create a count, integer array count is equal to new int of a dot size minus 1. So we are creating an array with the same size of the input list. Second thing is we are going to sort it. Collections dot sort of A. So we have the input list. We sorted this array, sorry, the list, and we created another array with the same size. Now, what is the logic? Is that we need to find out the difference between any two such elements whose difference, the absolute difference, is less than or equal to 1. So in order to do that, we have to iterate over the array or the list, something like this. For integer I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to a dot size minus 1, then I plus. Then what we are going to do is we need one more subarray in order to track the next element. So for that, for integer j is equal to 0, j less than or equal to a dot size, then j plus plus. Okay. Then we are doing that if math.abs, then a dot get j minus a dot get of I less than. So what we are doing is that we have created one more element or one more inner loop in which we are iterating again from the next element I plus 1 to the end of the array again. Okay, if math.abs a dot get j minus a dot get I, we are getting the absolute difference between the current element and the previous element. Then we need to store that into another array list. So for that we can create an array list of integer. Let's call it as an array, something like that. Then new array list, then integer, something like this. Then we are going to save or add this a dot get of j. Okay, now we have added that element, the current element whose difference comes between less than 2. Whose the difference between the previous element and the current element is 2. Such element we are going to add it into this array list. Then once we do that, we need to save that reference this count array. So in this count.I, we are saving the length of that array list, arr.size, to the count array. Now the count array will be having the array.size. Suppose if there are 2 such occurrences, then the array size will be 2. Now what we will do is we will sort this array dot sort count. Now once we are doing this, we are going to sort this count array so that it will be ordered, the elements in that array will be ordered properly. Then once we get these orders elements in the proper order, we are returning the highest element from this count array by something like this. Return is equal to return count of count dot length minus 1. Okay, this is what we are going to do. So we created a count integer array, then we sorted this initial list, then we have iterated through the the initial list, then we created one more list, then we have added one more inner loop, and in that inner loop we are comparing with the current index with the previous index, because in the inner loop we are starting from the next position. I mean, that is what int j is equal to I plus 1 is doing. Then if we are getting the difference between the absolute difference between the existing element and the previous element, then we are checking whether it is less than or equal to 1. If such cases are there, then we are adding to this array list. Then once the loop exited, we are just assigning the size of that array to this size of this array list to the count array. Then again the loop is going. So when the loop is starting all over again, in the next pass we are just reinitializing this array list, and so on. And finally, when this main loop is exiting, then we are just sorting that array and get its maximum value element by taking the length of that array. So this way we are getting the maximum number of this way we are getting the size of that array list whose difference is going to be either less than or 1. Now we will be okay. One more thing, we need to add a value here, a.add a.get of I. That's it. Now we need to copy this code and run it, see whether it is passing or not. So for that, what we can do is, we don't have much time also, so run the code and see. Compilation error. What is the compilation error we are getting? Okay. That is because we copied. So we're copying this element to here. And run the code again. Oh, it is arrays.sort. Yes, we passed this code. Now we will submit the code, see what we are getting it. Submit the code. Yes, that's it. We have passed this test. So this is the way we can solve this challenge, picking numbers. Okay. Hope you have understood my video. Thank you.